A very good morning to all of you and welcome to the session, the Hindu editorial analysis for proficiency in English. As usual, let us start with the snippets. But before that, at the outset, wish you all a very happy Holi. Now let us go to the first snippet. SC on election sanctity. There is one important word here, that is sanctity. The word sanctity goes with religion in a way. Sanctity means holy, sacred, divine. All these words you have to recollect. Thank you very much, and wish you all the same. And sanctity usually goes with a religious context. But here, what it means on election sanctity, that means a purity, keeping it pure, transparent, and flawless. That's how you have to look at it. Recount should not affect ballot secrecy. Here we have the word affect. Our students know affect, effect. Affect means what? It's a verb. It's a regular verb. Affect, affected, affected. Effect can be a noun, can be a verb. Usually used as a noun, but sometimes used as a verb. Otherwise, nothing. It talks about should not affect ballot secrecy. It talks about maintaining secrecy. Coming to the next snippet, you can see a pic over here. In a first. Sometimes what happens, English, we have rules, we have exceptions. If you take the word first, ordinal number, we give the rule. Before ordinal numbers, we should use a definite article, the first, the second. But here what happens, there is a phrase. A phrase is different, regular usage is different. When you expose yourself to the language, you understand all these subtle differences. Otherwise, you may think, how come A, it has to be the? But here you have to look at all the words together as a phrase. In a first means something for the first time. That's what it means. Nothing wrong with this. In a first. Critical minerals license auction launched. Critical minerals means important minerals. Auction launched. You all know the word auction. Auction goes with usually antique pieces. What is the meaning of the word antique? Something that belongs to the past. And people try to bid. That is a word you have to recollect. Very good, Murli and Sunny. And also unique and Pawan Kumar. A lot of students. That is a word you should recollect. And highest bidder, lowest bidder, bidding, auction, or antiques, all these. Artifacts also you should recollect. Here we have a pic. Gold smuggling case. CBI probing role of public servants. Who are public servants? Usually, this case is revolving around politicians, around some officials. So that way, you can consider public servants. Usually, it goes with the politicians and sometimes those who belong to civil services also, but not unofficially. Coming to the word gold, casual reading, you look at the word gold, nothing to learn as such. But if you recollect, if you take nouns, gold is not countable, uncountable. And there's one important rule. Before uncountable nouns, generally speaking, we should not use any article. Generally using, that is important. Specific we can use. For example, gold is always expensive. We cannot say the gold is always expensive. Not correct. We can also say what happened to the gold. The gold means something specific. That you should recollect. Probing, you all know, investigating, a role of public servants. Again, when it comes to officials or bureaucrats, you should think of one important idiom. What is that idiom? Red tapeism. Red tapeism means what? Bureaucratic hurdles. Coming to the next one, an important one, critical juncture. There's an important word here. Critical means important. Juncture means a particular time or particular situation. I say at this juncture, means at this point exactly. And the present scenario, another expression you should recollect. Critical juncture means point. A choice between progress and parochialism, an important word. They have given in bank exams many a time, SSC also. Parochialism means what? Narrow mindedness, narrow outlook. That's an important word. You can say limited also, but better word you should think of narrow mindedness, narrow outlook. Parochialism. And in this context, what does it go with? Linguistic. Linguistic policies could ruin India's ambitions. Two important words, rather three. Here, linguistic ambitions or linguistic policies. The word linguistic, the moment you see, you have to become alert and you have to recollect one important rule. What is that rule? When it comes to nouns number, there are some nouns, they always have the plural form but take a singular verb. What are the important examples? News, physics, mathematics, linguistics, economics, statistics, measles, mumps, rickets. All these are in the plural form but always take a singular verb. Many exams have given linguistics are not very popular in our country. Wrong. Linguistics is not very popular in our country. That you have to recollect immediately. Coming to the next one, could. Could has four functions. One function, it is used to make a request, polite and formal. At the time of the interview, you don't understand what the member has asked, one of the members has asked. You should say, could you please repeat, sir? Don't use can. Could you please repeat, sir? That is a formal request. Second one, it goes with past ability and usually old people. I could do this, I could do that when I was young. That is past ability. Third one, it is used to express a possibility, but the chances are less. He could be on the way. Possibility, but the chances are less. And the can is informal, not you should not use. We have formal English, informal English. What is formal English? English used at the workplace, with strangers and with elders. What is informal English? English used with friends and members of family. Informal English, can. Permission, may. Yes, that's right. Coming to the fourth one, it is used to express an idea of condition. You could sit here if you like. What is the idea of condition? If you like, that is the idea of condition. All the functions you should recollect. Coming to the word ruin, typical meaning as a verb. Ruin means a spoil, but we can use the same word in the plural form. Ruins as a noun, meaning changes. Ruins means the remains of a monument. Today, if you go to any fort, you don't see the entire fort, parts of the fort you see. Then you use the word ruins of the fort, an important word. See, what happens here, there are two types of learners, passive learners, active learners. Passive learners, they read and move on. Active learners, they try to spend some time, look at the words meticulously, try to look at, they ask the question, what else can I learn from this word? What can I recollect? What can I consolidate? That way, when you do or read that way every day, everything will be at your fingertips and your standards will keep going up. That should be the approach, not casual reading. Casual reading does not fetch anything. Causing a flutter means making an impact in this context. Someone must have won the match based on that causing a flutter. Something like unexpected, something positive. Lakshya storms into the quarterfinals. I think if you take shuttle right now, All England, yes sir, All England Badminton Championship, prestigious, coveted title. And in our country, I think two persons have got. One is Prakash Padukone, the other one is Pullela Gopichand. They have won All England Shuttle Badminton Championship. Right now it is underway. Based on that, this news item. That's all from the snippets. Let us go to the main headline and see what is there to learn. Here we have the main headline, 𝐸𝐤𝐤 groups end shutdown of Manipur's national highways. 𝐸𝐤𝐤 groups end shutdown of Manipur's national highways. I have been reading the snippets. Manipur, the national highways have been blocked by a particular group, 𝐂𝐤𝐴𝐳, and they have decided to end that protest, and perhaps they found a solution. Coming to the next one, UN accuses Israel of genocidal acts, sexual violence in Gaza Strip. There's an important word which has been given many a time in bank exams. What is that word? I'm sure many of you know genocide. First, you have to look at the suffix. Side means to kill. Based on the suffix side, you can learn 10 to 15 words. For example, one person kills another person. It is called a case of homicide. Homo means man, homicide, one man killing another man. And genocide. If people of a particular race or community are killed, then we use the word genocide. If you guys, usual example we give, Hitler. Hitler tried to kill Jews, and then that particular incident we use genocide. And also 1984, Indira Gandhi was assassinated. That time many Sikhs were killed and they were attacked. That also in a way a case of genocide, important. And you have to learn and recollect words like patricide, matricide, sororicide, and so many words, fratricide, pesticide, insecticide, feticide, and infanticide, so many words. Otherwise, nothing, sexual violence in Gaza Strip. Coming to the snippets this side, Putin backs truce idea but calls for talks with US. Demands talks with US. At the corpse means a dead body. At the outset, he has accepted the idea of truce, but he wants to have talks with the US. Obviously, delimitation is a conspiracy against South. There's another snippet, delimitation. As I told yesterday also, right now two issues, if you take the South, two issues are in the limelight. One goes with the delimitation, the other goes with the language issue. Here, delimitation is a conspiracy against South. Conspiracy, you plan something with others to attack or damage someone. Conspiracy, an important word, goes with crime in a way. Leave India if you oppose holy colors. Someone has given a statement. What is that categorical statement? Leave India if you oppose holy colors. So in a way, the person is telling, don't hate holy colors. If at all you hate, leave the country. A very strong statement issued by Minister of UP. Here we have a colorful pic, traditional pic. What does it say? Festive fervor. There's an important word. Fervor means passionate feeling. You try to do something with a lot of passion, then we use the word fervor. Festive, at the time of festivals, we use this word. Exactly. Try bhasha, try language. And what does it say? Mass reverence. There's one important word here, reverence. Have you heard of this word? Reverence means giving a lot of respect to someone or something. Reverence, an important word. Mass reverence means a lot of people giving respect. And looks like this is an exclusive festival of women. Women pray as they cook offerings for the goddess during the Pongala festival at the Athukal Bhagavati temple in Thiruvananthapuram on Thursday. The entire city comes to a standstill, an important word. The women only ritual, exclusive for women, and comes to a standstill, an important word, an important expression. What does it mean? Something has come to a standstill means it got stuck. No movement, no development, nothing. Everything has stopped. Then we say it has come to a standstill. An important expression you guys have to remember. Coming to the next one, Tamil Nadu opts for Tamil letter instead of the symbol in state budget logo. This has become controversial. Tamil Nadu state, it has been in the limelight for many of late. Some good reasons, some bad reasons, according to the editorial, according to the newspaper, not my personal opinion. And here it has not used a symbol of rupee at the center created for the entire country, but it has used a symbol that goes with Tamil language. And right now it is in the limelight, it has become controversial. It is about that. Coming to the next one, Madras High Court fixes a cap on tourist vehicles to the Nilgiris and Kodaikanal. There's one important word here, cap. You all know the word cap. It goes with sports people, but here cap means limit. Put a cap means what? Here fix a cap means a limit, means 100 or 200 or 300 per day. Cap in this context means limit. I guess that's all from the front page of the Hindu paper. But here we have ISRO undocks Paddock's satellites in first attempt related to space. Let us go to the editorial analysis. Exactly. Kerala's festival vibes. Okay. As usual, if you ask the question, what is there to learn when we watch this video, you are going to improve your reading comprehension skill, your contextual awareness, which is very important when it comes to mains. You are going to learn effective vocabulary. You are going to consolidate your grammar knowledge, whatever you have already learned. Besides, you are going to work on mini mocks. Today, not too many words. See what happens here. I keep those who have been attending, those who have been regular, they know. Slowly the number of words comes down. One reason, many words are repeated and they become quite familiar. And the moment our students see those words, they know the meaning. And I avoid those words. Sometimes important I may bring because every day we have new students. But today we have about, sir, do mains level. Mains level what? Okay. And today we have about 10 to 12 words, but I brought only 4. The reason being, other words we have got many a time. Let us see what those words are. Imperative, an important word. When you read the newspaper, you come across this word quite often. Imperative. Something is imperative. Part of speech, it can be noun, it can be adjective. Meaning as a noun, something that is necessary or important. You should also think of words like important, vital, crucial. Exactly. Who is that? Vishnu. Wonderful. And adjective, expressing a command, a rule, or necessity. Example, noun, as a noun. Economic growth is an imperative for developing nations. We have, when you look at the word developing nations, when you look at the world, we have 3 worlds: the first world, the second world, the third world. India is known as the third world, a third world country. What does it mean? First world, industrially developed capitalist countries. Second world, industrially developed communist countries. Third world, either developing or underdeveloped Asian, African, Latin American countries. And they have socialist countries. That means what? They have a mix of public sector and private sector. Today, if you take banks, we have in the private sector, we have in the public sector. And India is a third world country. That's what we say. And any developing country, third world means developing or underdeveloped. Any developing country, for any developing country, what is the most important thing? Obviously, development. Economic development. Based on that, economic growth is an imperative for developing nations. Word forms, noun, adjective, noun, imperative, adverb, both forms can be used. Imperative can be used, noun, adjective. Adverb, imperatively. Generally, we don't use as an adverb. Word combinations, strategic imperative, economic imperative, 2 important combinations. Word usage, often used to emphasize urgency or necessity in formal context. When you want to highlight something is immediately one has to take action, something is important, something is urgent, then we use the word imperative. Synonyms, crucial, essential, vital, urgent, necessary. Antonyms, optional, unimportant, non-essential, secondary. But when you see the word essential, you should also recollect an important word. What is that? Indispensable. Have you heard of this any time? Indispensable means essential, important. Indispensable and important word, exam point of view. Let us go to the next one, doctrine. Doctrine goes more with politics. It also goes with religion and philosophy. Doctrine, part of speech, noun, meaning. A principle or policy that serves as a guideline for action. Usually it is a principle or a policy. It acts as a guideline for action. A formal set of beliefs, as I said, it goes with politics, it goes with religion. In that context, a formal set of beliefs in politics, religion, or strategy. Usually politics and religion, doctrine. Example, the Mahasagar doctrine aims to strengthen India's presence in the Indian Ocean. Means the Mahasagar doctrine means Mahasagar principle is you should look at it that way. Mahasagar doctrine, Mahasagar principle, or policy or philosophy aims to strengthen India's presence in the Indian Ocean. Again, when you see Indian Ocean, I've said the Indian Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, the Indian Ocean. Why that difference? There are two dimensions. One dimension, if the word begins with a vowel letter, vowel sound, we have to say the Indian Ocean. If it begins with a consonantal letter, consonantal sound, we should say the Pacific Ocean. And something is unique also, we say the. Word forms, noun, doctrine, adjective, doctrinal. Generally, we don't use as an adjective. Very good, Vishnu. I appreciate. Word combinations, military doctrine, political doctrine. Word usage commonly used in legal, military, and religious context. Synonyms, principle, policy, tenet. Tenet is an important word. Belief. Tenets of a particular religion, tenets of a particular philosophy means the aspects, the features. That's an important word. Antonyms, disbelief, ambiguity, uncertainty. You all know the word ambiguous. Creed also you can think of. Sudha Krishna. Looks like a new student. Good, I appreciate that. And what is the last word here? Last button, ambiguity. Ambiguous means what? Not clear, vague, ambiguous, obscure, not clear. All these words, one group. Yes, you should immediately recollect. Endure. Endure, an important word, though a familiar one. Endure means what? To bear, to experience, to withstand. Part of speech, verb. Meaning, continuing for a long period of time, lasting. Enduring pain means what? Lasting pain. But endure the pain means bear the pain. Example, the country has an enduring relationship with its allies. I have brought only one meaning, but do remember the word endure has many meanings. It's a word with multiple meanings. Here, enduring relationship, an important combination, lasting relationship. Word forms, verb endure, adjective enduring, noun endurance. All the forms are important. And word combinations, enduring legacy. Enduring legacy means lasting legacy. Enduring friendship, enduring influence. Word usage, commonly used in historical, political, and personal context to indicate longevity. Obviously, something lasts for a long time, then we use that. Synonyms, lasting, permanent, persistent, timeless. Antonyms, temporary, fleeting. Fleeting is an important word they have given in bank exams and SSC a few times. Fleeting means what? Not permanent, temporary, changing very fast. Confer. Even these words, many of these words are quite familiar. Confer goes with awards and titles. Part of speech, verb, meaning to officially give an award, title, or right. Another meaning, the second meaning is important, goes with the editorial context. To consult or discuss something. From this you get conference, confer, conference. Remember, that goes with the second meaning. Example, the university conferred an honorary degree upon the scientist. Again, very important. And when it comes to indefinite article and, there are two dimensions. One dimension, a word that begins with a vowel letter or vowel sound. We use an. And for example, an European city or a European city. That goes with the consonantal sound. But coming to MP, vowel sound, though the letter is consonantal letter, and MP and SP. That's the first dimension. What is the second dimension? We use the indefinite article and before words that begin with a silent or mute H. For example, an hour, and here an honorary degree. People mispronounce an honest man, but people say a honest, no horse sound. That sound is silent. Based on that, we have to say an honest man, an honorary degree, an honor. All these you should recollect. Word forms confer, conference, second meaning. Adjective conferred. Word combinations confer an award, degree, title also you can say. Confer with officials means what? Discussion with officials. Word usage frequently used in academic, political, and diplomatic settings based on the editorial diplomatic setting. Exactly. Synonyms, see, we have all those words grant, bestow, give, discuss, consult. Antonyms revoke, withhold, take back. Not exactly. As I said, not too many words, only a few, but these words also, Pravalika, good. You should recollect a university, a union, a unique person. Those also important examples. Now let us go to the editorial. Old ties, new priorities. You may not be able to make out, but when you go to the next one, you can easily make out what exactly it means. The Modi visit to Mauritius focused on present day imperatives. We have very good ties with Mauritius based on that old ties. And now the present scenario, current scenario, we have to focus on certain things. They become imperatives. Based on that, old ties, new priorities. The Modi visit to Mauritius focused on present day imperatives. Present day, whatever is in the present context, whatever is important, they have decided to focus on. I have told many a time, whenever you read an editorial or you come across a passage that deals with the president's visit or the prime minister's visit to some other country, obviously, what could be the broad framework? They try to have tie-ups, economic, obviously, and they try to take up joint ventures. If that is not a developed country and a developed country has visited, it tries to support economically certain projects it may try to sponsor, and they try to revive their ties also sometimes. All these aspects, obviously. Today's editorial also touches the same aspects. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Mauritius this week. Actually, when we see this week, we should use, there's an important rule. We should use present perfect. But here it is in past. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Mauritius this week and his meeting with its newly elected Prime Minister Naveen Ramgoolam marked a decade since his last visit. But just recollect the rule. What is the rule here? Present perfect tense, I usually teach 6 uses. One of the uses, when we use time phrases that indicate an incomplete time period, adverbs of time that indicate incomplete time period, like today, this week, this month, this year, this season, we should use present perfect. Once in SBI, they gave a question. She wrote 2 books this year. Right or wrong? It is wrong. Because this year, incomplete, we should use a sentence in present perfect. What is the correct sentence? She has written 2 books this year. Exactly. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Mauritius this week and his meeting with its newly elected Prime Minister Naveen Ramgoolam marked a decade. How many years have been since he last visited? 10 years. Based on that, marked a decade since his last visit. This is also an important expression, since his last visit. And the moment you see since, you should recollect 2 words, obviously. One since, the other one for. And what is the difference between the two? Since goes with the specific time, and per goes with the time period. Here, since last visit specific, so since. His trip, and what is the objective of this trip? The prime minister of a country goes to some other country. There should be some strong reason. There should be some objective. Based on that, his trip aimed to strengthen India-Mauritius strategic partnership. The India-Mauritius strategic partnership. The word strategic has two or three meanings. Now you are preparing for competitive exams. Someone may ask you, what is your strategy? Means plan. But here strategic partnership goes with depends. Do remember. Strategic partnership and launch new economic and development initiatives. As I said, when a country, India is in a better position, it will try to help a country like Mauritius based on that economic and development initiatives. While Mr. Ramgoolam's previous tenure, 2005 to 14, overlapped briefly with Mr. Modi's, in a way, for some time, they were contemporaries. Mr. Modi, our Prime Minister, was in power. Same time, he was also in power. Overlapped. Based on that, overlapped briefly with Mr. Modi's. The two leaders have maintained close ties. The two leaders have maintained present perfect active voice, have maintained close ties. Even during India's strict COVID-19 lockdown, the Indian government facilitated Mr. Ramgoolam's medical evacuation to India. That means India favored in a way, went out of the way and provided, facilitate means to provide, facilitated Mr. Ramgoolam's medical evacuation to India. And I haven't brought the meaning of the word evacuation because we have got many a time. If they don't have a good relationship, then we say they are at loggerheads. Anant, very good, I appreciate. And coming to this one, evacuate means what? It goes with a disaster, natural disaster. Whenever there is a natural disaster, people of that region, they're shifted to some other region immediately on war footing. And then we use the word evacuation. They are taken to a rehabilitation center. Yes. We have got that word many a time. Acknowledging this support, Mr. Ramgoolam warmly welcomed Mr. Modi. Because he was favored during the time of COVID, he reciprocated. How did he reciprocate? He received our Prime Minister, and our Prime Minister got a red carpet welcome. What is the meaning of red carpet welcome? Grand welcome. And here, warmly welcomed. Warm has two meanings. One, opposite of cold, warm, hot. Hot, cold, warm, cool. And here you can take it, their second meaning. What is the second meaning of warm? It means affectionate. When we write an informal letter, we close warm regards. Warm regards means what? They're affectionate. Warm means affectionate. I usually give one example. Mothers are always warm. Means what? Mothers are always affectionate. That is a good example, I believe. Warmly welcomed Mr. Modi as a guest at Mauritius National Day celebrations, where he was also conferred. They conferred the highest national award, past tense active voice. He was conferred, that is past tense passive voice. He was also conferred the highest national award. Though not India's closest geographical neighbor, it is not very close to us. That based on that, the contrasting word though. Though not India's closest geographical neighbor, Mauritius remains deeply connected to India. Immediate neighbor means you can expect some sort of ties, but it is not very close to us. Mauritius is not India's closest geographical neighbor, but remains deeply connected to India. Now the writer has to justify how is Mauritius deeply connected to India, though it is far away from India. Look at the next sentence. This is really surprising. I myself didn't know. Over 70% of Mauritians are of Indian descent with enduring cultural ties to India. Are you guys aware of this? Mauritius, 70% looks like a major chunk, the lion's share, you can say, 70% Indian descent. That is really surprising. A pleasant surprise, rather. You guys also never heard of that, never thought of that. 70% not a small thing. Over 70% of Mauritians are of Indian descent with enduring cultural ties to India. While Mr. Modi's engagements highlighted these shared historical and cultural bonds, the visit was primarily focused on strategic priorities. Engagement, two different words, two different meanings. One, engagement, it goes with marriage, before that engagement. But here engagement means meeting. Based on that, the second meaning, while Mr. Modi's engagements highlighted these shared historical and cultural bonds, but the primary focus, the visit was primarily focused on strategic priorities, defense related. The writer has to tell us why. India seeks to strengthen its partnership with Mauritius as a key player in the Indian Ocean, an African nation and a link to the global south. India wants to have its presence based on that. A key player in the Indian Ocean, an African nation, and a link to the global south. And that way, strategically important position, India should have ties. That is the first part of the editorial. Coming to the second part of the editorial, as part of this deepening partnership, the two leaders upgraded their strategic ties and committed to increase the defense cooperation. As I said, at the outset, I said strategy, plan, that is the primary meaning. What is the secondary meaning of the word strategic studies, strategic relationship related to defense? Based on that, upgraded their strategic ties and committed to increase the defense cooperation. India also announced several major economic initiatives that include bilateral trade in national currencies, one thing, support for a new Mauritius Parliament building, second thing, and a 487 crore credit facility to improve water infrastructure. Three things. India is going to help Mauritius. Why that Rohit Sharma here? Coming to this one, India's role, announced several major economic initiatives. All these are initiatives. One, bilateral trade. Second one, constructing the parliament building over there. Third one, a credit, 487 crore Indian rupees to improve water infrastructure. Infrastructure, water infrastructure. And here you have to recollect what exactly the word infrastructure, what does it mean? Usually, infrastructure means housing, roads, transport, water, power. Now, education also comes under infrastructure. And coming to water infrastructure, something like harbors, shipyards, something that goes with water bodies. These projects build upon previous Indian-led developments such as an airstrip and jetty in the 𝐾𝐲𝐢𝐵𝐾𝐲 Islands, all from contribution from India. Airstrip and jetty in the 𝐾𝐲𝐢𝐵𝐾𝐲 Islands, the Mauritius Metro Rail project, one more, and a new Supreme Court building, third one. Already India has contributed, and these are the examples. It is going to contribute in the near future, those areas also. The visit also carried geopolitical implications. Mr. Rangulam has expressed a desire to renegotiate Mauritius' agreement with the UK regarding sovereignty over the Chagos archipelago. An important word. Do you guys know the meaning of this? Archipelago means a group of islands, archipelago. The visit also carried geopolitical implications. What does it mean? Mr. Rangulam has expressed a desire to renegotiate Mauritius' agreement with the UK regarding sovereignty. Sovereign means independent. Sovereignty over the Chagos archipelago, home to a US military base in 𝐷𝐸𝐺 Garcia. US military base in 𝐷𝐸𝐺 Garcia. While India helped broker the previous deal under Prime Minister Pravin Jugnauth's government, it has assured Mr. Rangulam of its full support in whatever course he chooses. Earlier, before this person, another person, his name Pravin Jugnauth's government, and that time also India played a vital role, and now it has assured Mr. Rangulam of its full support in whatever course he chooses. That means they are with the present incumbent head of that country. Meanwhile, India is also watching China's growing footprint. Here, footprint means impact, role. What is China doing? What are the ties they have with China? China's strategic partnership with Mauritius includes, they also have strategic partnership. And what does it include? A free trade agreement and bilateral trade worth 1.1 billion US dollars, double that of India Mauritius trade at 554 million US dollars. Double, almost double. With the PLA Navy's increased presence in the Indian Ocean, Mr. Modi's announcement of the Mahasagar Doctrine is significant. Significant means what? Important. China is there, China's presence is there. And as a check, perhaps this has been announced, Mahasagar Doctrine is important. At a time when shifting US foreign policy threatens the international rules-based order, disrupts trade, and risks fragmenting global alliances into rigid spheres of influence, Mr. Modi's visit has underscored India's commitment to strengthening regional ties and reinforcing partnerships with trusted friends. A lengthy sentence, and you should read once or twice. But in a nutshell, what does it mean? If you look at the present world situation, the present scenario across the world, because of Donald Trump, things have been changing fast, shifting US foreign policy that threatens a lot of aspects. The international rules based order gets disturbed, disrupts means interrupts trade, and also risks fragmenting global alliances. New alliances may come into existence because of Donald Trump's policy. Against this backdrop, into rigid spheres of influence. Against this backdrop, Mr. Modi's visit has underscored, highlighted India's commitment to strengthening regional ties. India doesn't want to be isolated. It wants to strengthen regional ties and also reinforce partnerships with trusted friends. Reinforce means what? To strengthen. Strengthen partnerships with trusted friends. That talks about India's stand. It ends on that note. That's all about today's editorial analysis. Now try to answer these questions. Try to answer the first one. What was the primary focus of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Mauritius? Strengthening cultural ties between India and Mauritius, strengthening the strategic partnership, and launching economic initiatives. Answer should be not D. Discussing the impact of the COVID-19? No. No. There are two dimensions. One is strategic partnership, the other one economic initiatives. Answer is B, obviously. How has India supported Mauritius in past development projects? By funding the construction of the new Supreme Court building, by developing the Mauritius Metro Rail project, by building an airstrip and jetty in the 𝐾𝐲𝐢𝐵 Islands. All the three have been mentioned. That means what is the answer? All of the above. Very good. Why is Mauritius considered strategically important for India? It is not closest geographical neighbor. It serves as a key player in the Indian Ocean and a link to the global south. Even this has been mentioned. B is the answer. What major economic initiative did India announce during Modi's visit? In his visit, major economic initiative. Two or three things. One, a free trade agreement between India and Mauritius, a 487 crore credit facility to improve water infrastructure, naval base, no. So what is the answer here? B is the answer. Yes, very good. What geopolitical issue did Mr. Rangulam express interest in renegotiating? This also clearly mentioned in the editorial explicit information you should be able to answer. It goes with a particular island, sovereignty of an island, and talking with the UK government. Here, the Mauritius UK agreement on the sovereignty of the Chagos archipelago. Answer is B. Let us go to mini mocks. First one deals with error location, a lengthy sentence. You got to read very carefully. The Election Commission of India had taken an unusually aggressive posture in responding to the opposition's complaints, which included being dismissive of genuine grievances such as undue delays in publishing voter turn-up figures, and even going on to admonish its critics. Not easy, you got to read carefully. Now the numbers change. Error location, first one. B, what is wrong with B? Nothing wrong with B. There is an error in D. What is it? Voter turn-up figures. Turn-up is not the right phrasal verb. What is the correct phrasal verb? Used as a noun. Here, adjective. Voter turnout figures, not turn up. Turnout. Turnout is the right word, not turn up. You may ask, sir, what is the difference between turn out, turn up, show up? Turn up and show up, they go with individuals. Imagine I was expecting a friend of mine last evening. He did not come. Then I say, he did not turn up last evening. He did not show up last evening. But when it comes to a large number of people attending a particular event or incident, like elections or some function, we use turnout. Choose the appropriate word to fill the blank. The initiative by the newly appointed commissioners of the Election Commission of India to invite political party representatives for an interaction was a positive or negative. First you have to decide. Positive. Then futile is negative. Useless. Irrelevant, negative. Controversial, negative. So what is it? A welcome move. Something highly appreciable. Choose the correct words to fill in the blank. We have two blanks over here. While the opposition has shown so much, what? On issues such as the function of the electronic voting machine, the ECI could also have done more to voters about the robustness of the electoral process. B, what is B here? So much skepticism means doubt. ECI could have also done more to reassure voters about the robustness. Very good. Answer is that is different. That seed is different. This here it doesn't go with sowing seeds. It is like implanting ideas. Here, a different context. Go to the next one. We have four words. Admonish. Admonish means what? Scold or warn firmly. Allay means to remove or to reassure a calm fears, remove fears. Seep, to flow or leak gradually. Salient, most noticeable or important. 2, 1, 3, 4. I think A is the answer. Important words. Fillers, not fillers actually. Word usage. Correct sentence. I should have changed. You have 4 sentences, only one sentence is correct, you have to choose. And what is the word used? Precipitate. The lack of rain helped to precipitate the drought in the region. The scientist used a formula to precipitate the sky. He was very precipitate in his handwriting. The boy precipitated the book. You have to choose the correct one. No, first one is right. The lack of rain helped. 2 we should not use. Precipitate the drought in the region. Means acted as a catalyst, a result in drought. Scientists used a formula to precipitate the sky, impossible. He was very precipitate, ridiculous. The boy precipitated the book, impossible. A is obviously, B, no, how can precipitate the sky? It is not practically possible. Looking at the scope, the size, the vastness of sky, impossible. That's why I removed that too. Who is that? Venkatesh. Very good. Read this one. Choose a correct sentence. The Election Commission's approach was dismissing two grievances. The salient features of the new policy were discussed in detail. Water was seeping suddenly from the broken pipe. The opposition is alleging that election is being precipitate. Here, the Election Commission's approach was dismissive. Dismissive, two grievances. Wrong. The salient features of the new policy were discussed in detail. Seems right. Water was seeping suddenly from the broken pipe. Broken pipe water doesn't seep. We have to use the word gush. When water pipe breaks, water gushes out. It doesn't seep. You have to eliminate based on one particular word. Seeping is not. Opposition is alleging that the election is being precipitate, grammatically wrong. So what is the answer? B is the answer. That's all for today. I hope you guys have got enriched. Not too many important words, only a few words, and not too many patterns also. Have a nice day. Enjoy the festival. Festival of colors goes with the youngsters like you, but be careful. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you very much.